2026 is already shaping up to be the most exciting year by far in consumer 3D printing's history, and it can be a little overwhelming to keep up with all the new products coming out on the market right now. But fear not, because I've reached out to all my secret sources and rounded up the juiciest leaks that you may have missed to bring you the 36 most exciting 3D printing products coming out this spring. Oh, and stick around to the end because I have some major exclusive bombshells, and of course, I've saved the most exciting news for last. Let's get after it. All right, let's start the list off with accessories, upgrades, and materials, and then we'll work our way towards the printers and then the juicy leaks. And I can think of no better place to start than with the most prolific manufacturer of upgrades over the last few years, and that would be BigTreeTech and BIQU. Now, they've been hard at work developing even more upgrades for more printers, and here are just a few of them. I'll start us off with one of the most exciting upgrades for the most exciting printer, and that would be the PopCap enclosure top hat for the SnapMaker U1. Made of polycarbonate, it features high temperature resistance, 360-degree viewing angles, and an easy open design with a handle. There are compartments on top for tool storage or DIY modifications, and it can even be upgraded with active chamber heating. More on that in just a second. Now, pricing will be around $110, which is significantly less than SnapMaker's official top hat, with a release in March. We'll update the description down below as soon as they become available because using our links does support the channel and it makes videos like these possible. Now, speaking of chamber heating, we have the Panda Breath chamber heater, which connects wirelessly to your printer and activates automatically during printing. Designed to be safe, reliable, and hands-off, it features a plug-and-play installation and numerous fail-safes on both the hardware and software sides. You can even use it to dry your filament inside the printer. It's also compatible with the Bambu Lab P1S, the SnapMaker U1, and all Clipper printers. Now, this one will set you back $109, and it is on sale right now. Additionally, BIQU is excited to announce that they are expanding their wildly popular CryoGrip and Pro Glacier high adhesion build plates. Now, these are compatible with a wide range of materials, particularly the CryoGrip one that I have right here. Now, they'll soon be available in pink, green, purple, yellow, and of course, the original blue. I've been using the new orange ones on a bunch of my Prusa printers, and they are absolutely fantastic. Now, pricing starts at $24.99 with versions available for the Bambu P1, X1, and A1 series already on the market, plus SnapMaker U1 compatible versions coming in March, and obviously a whole bunch of Prusa ones as well. Up next from BIQU, we have their new PLA Go series of filaments. These are designed to be significantly more affordable than the mid to high-end PLA already on the market. It's intended to be easy to use, biodegradable, ROHS and REACH certified. Plus, it comes in a wide variety of rich colors. Now, pricing and release date are still both TBD, but I'd love to know in the comments, what do all of you guys think about BIQU getting into the already very competitive filament game? And finally, from BIQU, we have the Pop Touch. Oh, wait, I just got it. If Bambu products are Panda, then SnapMaker products are Pop, like Snap Crackle Pop? Huh. In any case, this one looks like it's basically the Panda Touch that they've had for years, but for the SnapMaker U1. So think larger screen and probably remote operation using a built-in battery. Plus, one screen can be used to control many different printers, which should be appealing for you print farm owners. Now, this one will set you back $60, and it should be available very, very soon, if not already by the time you're watching this. Up next, let's look at another upgrade manufacturer, which is Wham Bam, who has 3 major products coming out this spring that they want to let you know about. First, we have the Ultimate Jig, a precision bed alignment system for the Eufy Make E1 printer. Now, that will be on Kickstarter from February 9th to March 9th for a super early bird price of $97, and then on their website after that. Second, we have the Cloud Aero Fire Extinguisher in 2 different sizes, regular and XL. Now, this is actually a new version of their old Cloud with a whole lot of different improvements, including a smaller form factor and a new extinguishing agent that won't harm PCBs. I don't know about all of you guys, but considering I run a print farm and I usually leave it unattended overnight, this one's really interesting to me personally. Now these are going to be priced at a very reasonable $34 for the Cloud Aero and $49 for the XL. And finally, Wham Bam is pleased to announce a new range of build plates for the Bambu Lab H2 series, available in their popular carbon fiber, PEX, and powder painted Ultim PEI. Now those of you who've tried Wham Bam products know that they are super premium and built to last a lifetime. Now let's just pause real quick and check with editing Jonathan to see if we have any pricing and availability information. Up next, let's check in with Siraya Tech, who've been releasing new filaments at a record pace lately. First, we have their new Roamer Air TPU HR. Boy, is that a mouthful. Let's just call it Roamer. Roamer is a high rebound foaming TPU specially calibrated for printing footwear. It has a significantly lower weight, variable hardness, and a textile-like finish, which are all fantastic qualities for your footsies. It'll set you back around $60 a kilo, and it should be in stock right now. Second, we have Siraya Tech's FiberHeart TPU GF filament. Yes, you heard that right. TPU glass fiber filament. Why, you ask? Well, TPU GF blends the rigidity of fiberglass with the resilience of TPU. It has high impact resistance, excellent vibration damping, and fantastic resistance to wear and chemicals. I feel like this one is going to be a game changer for the combat robot scene, but I would love it if you let me know in the comments down below what you would use it for. In any case, FiberHeart TPU GF is out now for just $39.99 a kilo. And finally, we have one non-filament product from Siraya Tech, their new EIBOS coating system. Developed in response to the growing concerns over skin safety of carbon fiber filaments, EIBOS is a clear coat with a wide range of benefits. The clear version encapsulates carbon fibers, reduces irritation, blocks out moisture, and maintains rigidity, as well as resisting IPA and common liquids. And it's also available in a matte version, which hides layer lines and gives your 3D prints a very premium, velvety skin feel. At just $17.99 for a 500 gram bottle, I'm actually pretty excited to try this one out, and it's available now. While we're talking about filament companies, let's mention channel sponsor Polymaker, who, in addition to their big launch of their new PETG formula and their refill spools at Formnext, quietly has released some new stuff since my last updates. On the consumer side, though, it's mostly just 24 new pan-chroma gradient colors. But these aren't just the standard gradient PLAs that were popular years ago. Polymaker apparently spent months collaborating closely with designers to create a wide range of gradients, which include matte, crystal, silk, translucent, satin, celestial, galaxy, and starlight flavors. That's a lot to process and a little confusing, if I'm honest, but if you're interested, you're looking at $24.99 to $29.99 a spool, with some variants in stock and others hopefully coming back very soon. The folks over at SUNLU also have a new filament that they're excited to release, and that is their PLA metal. This is a filament that is infused with, and I quote, metal-like powder, delivering a metallic texture and a subtle metal luster. It also has a noticeably higher density, giving your prints a more authentic and premium feel. Now, as you can probably gather, this one is predominantly intended for high-end decorative products, not engineering applications. Unfortunately, no pricing or release date yet, but do stay tuned. Hopefully, by this point in the video, you've already identified some interesting products that you'd like to pick up in the future. And hopefully, that means plenty of assembly and working on fulfilling projects in your near future. And that's why I'm so excited to be partnering with Hoto Tools for this video. Now, I've been a huge fan of Hoto for a while now. You've definitely seen me using their super powerful compressed air capsule and their vacuum or their super slick measurement tools in a lot of my videos. But by far, my new favorite workshop tool has got to be this, the Pixel Drive screwdriver. Honestly, it's almost like someone at Hoto read my mind and then went back in time and made exactly the handheld electric screwdriver that I need. It's sleek and compact enough to fit into tight spaces like a 3D printer, and yet it still manages to pack in 2 speeds and 6 different torque settings, which prevents me from breaking or stripping screws, which you guys know I do be doing. Also, unlike the vast majority of cordless handheld screwdrivers, it actually has enough power to properly torque M3 and even M4 screws. We're talking an impressive 6 Newton meters on the highest setting. Real talk, I actually love this thing so much that I took a pay cut on this video and negotiated a 10% site-wide discount for you guys, just because I know that you guys are gonna love this thing and Hoto's entire product lineup way more than some of the other products that I could promote here instead. So to check out their incredible line of sleek, functional, and high-quality tools for you or someone you love with Valentine's Day coming up, visit the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen right now. And don't forget to use the coupon code THENEXTLAYER at checkout for 10% off your entire order. I never thought I'd be so excited about a screwdriver. All right, let's get back to the video. Now, a quick update from E3D, who teased a few very exciting new product lines at Formnext in November. The big news is, of course, Obsidian 500, the super, ultra, uber wear-resistant nozzle series rated to up to 500 degrees Celsius. Well, I am happy to report that the first products in this line are now available for purchase. These include high-flow nozzles for the Bambu Lab H2, X1, and P1 series, as well as both high-flow and standard versions for the Prusa Nextruder and the E3D Revo hot ends. Now, pricing starts at a pretty reasonable 55 pounds, considering this is a lifetime nozzle, and they do seem to be shipping most models right now. Additionally, E3D will soon be offering complete Diamondback hot ends for the Bambu Lab H2 and P2 series. Now, pricing on these is going to be around 100 pounds, and they are hoping to launch in March. Up next, let's talk about Phaetus, who also has a few interesting upgrades coming out this spring. First, we have the DXC2 extruder for the Creality K2 series, which boasts legendary performance, easy maintenance, and precision cutting. Now, this upgrade should level up your K2 series printer significantly, but unfortunately, besides that, details are scant. I actually don't have a pricing or release date yet. Second, from Phaetus, we also have a new line of build plates for the Bambu Lab P2S and SnapMaker U1. These offer superior adhesion even without heating the bed at all, and they do work with a wide range of materials. Now, I've, as you can see, been running these a lot on some of my printers, and they really are fantastic. Now, you can pre-order yours today for just $18.90, which is insane to me, and they should be shipping by the time you see this. And finally, I was able to pry a little more information out of my rep at Phaetus about an unreleased product coming in April or May, and that is hardened nozzles for the SnapMaker U1. No pricing available at this time, but given the similar design of the two nozzles, I can only assume that they're going to be about the same price as the Bambu Lab Conch hot ends, so figure around $25 a piece, and I'm definitely going to need a handful of those. Now, let's check in with LDO Motors, who is continuing their long-standing tradition of helping bring community projects to market. First, LDO will be releasing their Twist Flow nozzle, a nozzle that uses a patented spiral melt path, supercharging heat transfer, melting filament faster, and providing even more flow. Now, this is a very, very early bit of news. I'm not sure if I'll even be able to get photos of this, much less release dates, but with an estimated $12 to $15 per nozzle for a V6 nozzle, it sounds pretty interesting, especially for those of us printing recycled filament or filament with a lot of additives, which really don't like the standard CHT nozzle geometry. Second, LDO is creating a kit for the Auto Eject Mark I, an automated system that will remove and replace build plates from your 3D printer. Made of printed parts and aluminum extrusions, this is right up LDO's alley, and it should be released around the end of May, but pricing will be around $450. Fourth, in April, LDO will be introducing a kit for the Inbox, the ultimate fully configurable spool management system designed by Voxel Design. Pricing will be as low as $150, but because it's LDO, you just know it's going to be super high quality and very, very well thought out. Fifth, we have the Monolith CNC Gantry Kit, a performance-oriented configurable gantry platform for the Voron 2.4 and Trident, which should be coming out by the end of March with an estimated price of $200. Another prolific company in the upgrade and open source space is FYSETC, so let's go ahead and see what they have coming to market very soon. First, they've just announced their Doron Velta 300 kit, which is a 300 by 300 Delta built for speed. 80-watt hot end, 300-watt bed, CPAP style cooling. This thing's gonna rip. You're looking at spending $750, not including printed parts and assembly, but it's available for purchase now. Second, FYSETC has announced a kit for the Quattro Box multi-material system, which I honestly hadn't heard of. This one has numerous options for the drive motor and hub, and it includes status LEDs for each lane. So if you're looking for a fully 3D printed multi-material system, you can pick one of these up now for $108, printed parts not included. Also, saving the best for last in this section, FYSETC has also released their own top cover kit for the SnapMaker U1. Now this one is priced at just $79, and it's actually very similar to the Blue Rolls kit that I installed on my own U1. It utilizes PC panels and foam insulation, but doesn't seem to support accessories or active chamber heating. Now printed parts are not included on this one, but it is shipping right now. All right, before we switch gears over to the 3D printer manufacturers and then the juicy secrets I was able to dig up, let's go ahead and check in with BondTech because I know that you guys are eagerly anticipating some of their new products. Now, I did check in with BondTech to see how things are progressing with the initial pre-orders of INDX, and I was very pleased to hear that Swedish winter notwithstanding, they are still aiming for a late March shipping date, meaning no delays in production or anything like that. Let's now check in with the folks at EIBOS who are excited to be entering a whole new product category with the Series X Cryos build plate. At first glance, this appears to be similar to all of the other high adhesion cool plates that seem to be coming out on the market recently, but this one does have a unique feature. It's mirrored, so it can be used in 4 different ways. Now that's great if you happen to damage your build plates or say you want to automate your print farm and not worry about build plate orientation. Also, this yellow in the teaser image is hot. They'll be coming out with models for both A, P, and X series, H series, as well as the SnapMaker U1 at launch in mid-February, and you can choose from pink, green, yellow, and blue. Pricing coming soon. Switching over to 3D printer manufacturers, we'll start off with Sovol, who has been quietly working on a few things recently. First, we have the SH03 filament dryer, which features a 4-spool capacity, independent dual chamber control, automatic dehumidification and drying, and a max temperature of 85°C. Honestly, it's very comparable to the Creality Space Pi 4, but significantly more affordable at just $119. Now this one is now available, so we'll leave a link in the description so all of you can check it out. Moving into the more hush-hush stuff like printers, some of you may already know that Sovol is actively developing a tool changer. They even went so far as to tease this photo on their social media. From the looks of it, it is going to be a fixed bed IDEX system, possibly based on the SVO8. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any word on pricing, release, or upgrade paths, but do stay tuned because given my history both with Sovol and with putting tool changers on their printers, I might be able to be among the first to test this one out. We'll see. Now, let's really quickly talk about Elegoo. The big news, of course, is going to be the Centauri Carbon 2, which is already on sale at the price of $449 and which will start shipping hopefully by the time you all see this video. This machine, in case you don't know, offers an RFID-enabled 4-color switching system, intelligent detection, and an upgraded 350°C hot end with a hardened nozzle, standard. I actually already have this one set up across the room on my test bench, and I'm going to be doing a whole project video with it in March, so do let me know what you'd like to know about it, and I'll try and fit that in. Also, I am under NDA on some other upcoming stuff, but I'll just say that Elegoo has some really cool stuff coming out for this printer in the future. I've already said too much. Additionally, I know that you guys are eager to hear about the multicolor upgrade for the Centauri Carbon 1, so I did ask and I was able to get the scoop. Now, Elegoo confirmed that they are still 100% dedicated to this project and that the delays are not due to low prioritization or anything like that, but just firmware optimization taking a lot longer than anticipated. Now, they have released a post about the updated hardware, and they've even shown videos of this system working on a CC1. Unfortunately, no release date yet, but do stay tuned because it seems like it finally is coming. Now, let's also take a quick moment to check in with SnapMaker, who, despite not having any new products or anything to announce, does have some very exciting news that I think some of you will want to hear. The notable bit of that news being that the SnapMaker U1 is finally going to be available for retail purchase in the US and EU starting in March. In other words, they're caught up. You no longer have to wait 2 months, and you should be able to get one immediately upon ordering. Of course, that is going to cost you. So say bye-bye to the $849 pre-order price and hello to the $999 retail price. Personally, as I think you guys know by now, I am a huge fan of this printer, as are most of the people who've reviewed it. So if you're interested in it, I would strongly recommend that you pick one up for $849 while you still can. Up next, Anycubic, who, as you likely already know if you have been on YouTube recently, has been very much focused on the launches of their Cobra X and Photon P1 resin printers. But that's not all they teased at Formnext. Perhaps the most exciting thing, at least to me, was their Anycubic Cobra S1 Max, which is a large format version of the Cobra S1. Now, this version offers a 350mm cubed build volume, as well as active chamber heating up to 65 degrees Celsius and a 350C hot end, and all the usual stuff on the Cobra S1 normal, such as 16 color printing and active filament drying while you print. Now, Anycubic is now offering a discounted pre-order price of just $649 for the printer or $849 for the combo, which is down from a retail price of $899 or $1099 respectively. Now, we're looking at a shipping time of late Feb to early March in the US and a week or two later in the EU and UK. I'll leave links down in the description. All right, up next, I promised you guys some exclusive scoops, so I've got some big news from the folks over at FlashForge. My sources within the company have confirmed that they are working on a 4-tool changer named the Creator 5. Now, this will feature the classic 256mm cubed build volume and high-speed printing. And get this, they're launching it by April. That's a huge scoop, right? So if you appreciate it, don't forget to smash that like button. Unfortunately, still no information just yet on pricing, but given FlashForge's very competitive pricing on the ADX series, this should be very, very interesting. And now, before we get into the very juicy and very speculative rumors, I do want to give a quick note. Usually on videos like these, I get a lot of questions or complaints about why this brand or that brand wasn't featured, so I thought I would share with you guys that I did reach out to Prusa, Creality, FLSun, Cheedy, and a bunch of others, but I didn't receive a reply, or I was told that they just had no comments on any future product releases. I know, that's a bummer, and I'm just as excited as all of you guys are about some of the upcoming releases from these brands, especially the Prusa Index and the rumored Creality tool changer that I talked about in the last update video. But do make sure to get subscribed because I'll probably do another video just like this one next quarter when I hope to have a lot more information from all of those brands as well. But since none of those companies were able to give me any official statements, let's go ahead and switch over to the juicy, speculative rumors and leaks. And you know what that means. It's time to talk about Bambu Lab. It's important to state here that I do not have any confirmed information from any first-party sources. In other words, everything that I'm going to share with all of you right now comes from rumors on the street in Shenzhen or publicly available information in Chinese language sources. But here's what I've got for you. The first rumor on the street is that Bambu Lab will be releasing a resin printer in Q3 of this year. As you'd expect, details on this are extremely scant. I've pieced all of this together based on coy smiles behind closed doors and an alarming recent increase in hiring resin experts at the company. But judging by Bambu's playbook in FDM, we can expect a few things. If this machine does come to fruition and it's not just corporate subterfuge, I would expect to see an easier user experience, particularly when it comes to handling the resin and a very tight soup to nuts ecosystem that includes the resin, the printer, washing, drying, cloud-based app, the whole Bambu treatment. Personally, I'm kind of hoping that this one isn't true because I'd like to see them stay focused on FDM, but just considering the fact that the Bambu Lab founding team came from DJI and how DJI very deliberately branched out from drones into microphones and cameras and gimbals and much more, I don't think any of us would be surprised if Bambu Lab is no longer content with just FDM printers and laser cutters. Now, the second type of very juicy rumor that I've started hearing has to do with a Bambu Lab tool changer. It's no surprise that the H2C isn't exactly the printer that most Bambu Lab customers were hoping for, but if we look at Bambu's past product launches, they always start out with a very high-end model, capture as much revenue as they can from the most eager and prosumer buyers, and then they move down market. Now, it's possible that the H2C is just that. It's the flagship, which will be joined later on by a lower end and more limited model. So when I began hearing rumors over the last few weeks about a potential X series printer with 4 tool heads coming as soon as April, followed by an H and P series set of tool changers in August, it all started making sense. And while there have been leaked images of a dual nozzle tool head suggesting that Bambu may double down on that approach, I also have it on good authority that Bambu Lab has been very hard at work reverse engineering the SnapMaker U1 for a while now, so honestly, who knows? Plus, they do tend to release products roughly every 6 months. And if you count 6 months from the November launch of the H2C, that puts us right at April, so stay tuned for that, I guess. Another persistent rumor that I've heard both internationally and when in China is that Bambu Lab has recently and quietly acquired one of the mid-size filament manufacturers in China and begun moving production in-house. Now, this has been largely confirmed by the fact that many of their white label filament manufacturers are reporting significantly decreased order quantities from Bambu Lab in the tail end of 2025. Now, I don't anticipate to see much of a change in the product lineup here, but it wouldn't surprise me if this caused Bambu Lab to drive down their filament pricing as a result. They do have to compete with the flood of low-cost Elegoo filament that has just taken over the market. And as one industry analyst who shall remain anonymous told me, his firm estimates that Bambu Lab is now selling over $80 million a year in filament alone, which is a massive part of their business, and they're not going to give it up without a fight. By the way, speaking of filament, if you're interested in learning more about filaments and ones that you should try, then you definitely need to check out this video I did recently, where I researched and tested over 20 very unique and highly functional filaments that most people haven't even heard of. Now I'll go ahead and link that video somewhere here. Anyways, that's all for this week, but I'll see all of you on the next layer.